All right, whenever you're ready.
Welcome, folks, to Module 4, the module on learning theory, student development, and applicability to curriculum design. So, let me talk a little bit about what we're going to do in this module and give you a feel for what the month's going to look like, and then you'll get updates from me through the month as we zero in on these topics in a little more depth, okay? So, let me say in general here, something that you need to think about, or a few quick things that you need to think about for this module. First off, the emphasis here is learning how to do more about curriculum design. So, with that in mind, when I say to you folks, think about a program that you'd like to design and what kind of student learning you want to have happen out of this program. Your program is going to need to be tiny. It's going to need to be concise because you're looking only at one piece of it. I don't want to know about logistics. I don't want to know about cost. I don't want to know about all sorts of other staffing or budgets or et cetera. We're on the curriculum piece, okay? So, that said, I will say that those of you who have done curriculum development, maybe some of you who were teachers in a former life or are teaching now, you may have a bit of an advantage here because you've done this before. For people who have not done curriculum design before, it can be a little frustrating because in some ways the precision around it, it can get a little annoying, quite honestly. So if you find that you're frustrated by it, figure out who in the cohort also has done curriculum work before and ask them some good hard questions. It sort of balances out at the beginning when those of you who were in management knew exactly what was going on, and some of the folks that had been teaching for the past years took a little longer to get up to speed. We're going to be in the reverse situation now. In this module, the product that you come up with at the end it probably does not feel as lengthy or as tangible. You're not going to come away with a 20-page paper, but you'll put in a lot of time thinking through exactly what you want to do. So don't necessarily expect the amount of time that you spend on reflection and design to be mirrored in the quantity of pages that come out of the back end. All right? So, in here, in this module, we're looking at 4 different areas. We're looking at the curriculum. What is the reason for the program? Why are we doing this in the first place? So, we'll take a look at, it doesn't have to be a mobility program. It can be almost anything that has to do with international education. Curriculum has a very broad definition here. So, it's not going to be a 5-credit course in natural sciences. It's going to be other sorts of curriculum that has to do with the whole picture. Perhaps it'll end up being co-curricular because it's not for credit. Okay? So this will become more clear as we go along. The other area we're going to take a look at are learning theories or learning styles. So we want to know what's behind the work that you're doing. The third thing we want to think about are the participants, who's going to be taking part in this program, and then the last are the co-curricular units. What are the intercultural activities that are going into this curriculum design? So these are the 4 areas that we will be talking about. I'm going to mention first, we'll start here with the participants because I'm going to suggest that you go back and take a look at your readings from week 4 in PP&D as the place to start. Okay? So, that's where you'll start for week 1. And then we'll move on to week 2 and take a look at learning theories. And then in week 3, we'll do the actual, and week 4, we'll do the actual designs. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about it in a moment.